Thanks everybody for signing up for race number 2 of the Chevyville Triathlon Series. We've had to jump through a lot of hoops to get here, but it's finally that time. Glad to be back to racing again. Going to take a few minutes and just walk you through, actually this is going to be our pre-race briefing, so we don't all have to congregate in one area for that, so we can just come in, line up, get the swim going, get things taken care of, have a great day. So number 1, as everywhere else, bring your mask. Anytime you're not competing, whether you're in the transition area setting up your bike where people are going to be close together, going through the registration process, make sure you've got a mask on. When we line up to go in to do the swim, take your mask off. As soon as you cross the finish line, we're asking everybody to put a mask back on before they're in with the crowds and talking and socializing with other people. Social distancing. Try to keep people 6 feet apart at all times. Even when we're lining up for the swim, I know it's going to make the line longer, 6-foot distance. You can still yell across to each other, that kind of thing. We're going to do a 20-second start. Let me just walk you through everything just like I would in a normal pre-race meeting. We'll start with registration, since that's even going to change a little bit in the way we're going about it. If you're familiar with the races, it'll be some changes for you. If it's your first time doing one of the races here in Chevyville, you're not going to know the difference, so it's really not going to matter. Okay, you're going to show up for registration. Whereas we normally do registration in the front office of the main building, this year we're going to be down at the outdoor pool, which is just right next to it. So registration tables are going to, let me even take registration out of it. We're not doing race day registration, it's just going to be packet pickup. So packet pickup is going to be located out here by the entrance to the outdoor pool. We're going to come in, you're going to get your temperature checked, pick up your packet, and that's going to be the whole thing. Get body marked also, of course, and you're ready to go. Transition is going to be in the same place as normal. I'll take you back out there in just a few minutes and show that area. But once you're registered, and registration is going to open at 7 o'clock, so everybody doesn't have to get here at one time, so there's not a big crowd here. Take your time, get here, think about how much time it's going to take you to set up your transition area, get warmed up and be comfortable. So once you go through, get your packet picked up, we're going to go through the building to the outdoor pool. Those are the bathrooms and things we're going to be using. We'll line up on the pool deck before we go into the swim, go in the back door to the pool. At that point, we'll start, first person will start in the pool, next people will start every 20 seconds. We'll have somebody hitting the water, going in. We'll go out the back door to the pool just like we always have. Nothing will change once you're in the water heading down to the transition area. Okay, the only processes we're changing is trying to keep people apart, the mask, and our registration area. Okay, I'm going to jump down to the transition area, show you where the rest of the magic's going to happen, where the start line, where the finish line is going to be, and procedures we need to follow right there. Okay? Okay, here we are magically transported back to the transition area. One thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about the swim is lining up for the swim. This is going to be a self-seated swim. So everybody use a little common sense. Take not only what your abilities are and what you think you can do, but what everybody else can do too, because we don't want everybody causing a tie-up. We've never had an issue when we've self-seated. Actually, we've done just as well with that as we have when people have listed their times, because some people have never done a time trial to know what their time is going to be. So just use a little consideration for yourself and the other athletes when you're self-seating yourself for the swim. Once you come out of the swim, you're going to be coming from the building up here. Come in. As you'll see this path, we actually have a new path, so we'll be running through the grass when we come into the transition area. When you go to your bike rack, the first thing you need to keep in mind, as always, is before you can leave this transition area, you have to have your helmet on and buckled. So make sure you get that taken care of, or you don't get to proceed with the race. Also, just as a side note, according to USA Triathlon rules, anytime you're at a race, even when you're riding your bike from your car to your transition area, you should have a helmet on and buckled anytime you are on your bike at a race venue. Keep that in mind for not only this race, but future races. So you're going to come in, you're going to get your bike. Anytime you enter or leave the transition area on foot, you're going to be coming down this path behind me. Anytime you're on your bike, you're going to be coming out this way, which is behind the camera. Okay? So you'll push your bike out of the transition area to the mount line. You'll have somebody there telling you in a line, get on your bike. You'll go out of this parking lot, take a right. From there, it's a loop. You'll go down, nobody knows the name of these roads, but it's Birch Branch. You'll turn on Freedom Way, the bypass, and just make a big 6-mile loop. Because it is 12 miles, it's 2 of those loops. If you've done it before, it's always the same. Be very cautious. Make sure that you're staying on the right-hand side of the road. Birch Branch is kind of narrow the first few miles of the race, so it's very important to stay on the right-hand side of the road. As a new obstacle this year, we've just been told that there's a big softball and baseball tournaments going on out here this weekend also. So we're going to have a couple of additional sheriff's deputies posted at the gates, and that's just going to be to help with the traffic getting in and out of the park for the ball games. It shouldn't cause any direct conflict on the bike route, but just be cautious when you get to the main gates of the park that you're keeping an eye out, nobody's whipping in and out of there. But there should be, like I said, sheriff's deputies there directing traffic. Once you've done your 2 laps on the bike, another rule on the bike is no drafting. If you guys that aren't familiar with that, you can't ride directly behind somebody to get the advantage of their aerodynamics on the bike. You have to stay 3 bike lengths behind that person. If you're going to pass that person, you have to go ahead and make your pass. If you're the person getting passed, once somebody pulls up beside you, you're not allowed to see them, take off. At that point, if they're coming up beside you, you have to allow them to make their pass, drop back, and then you can repass them. That's called overtaking if you dart once somebody gets up beside you. Okay. So once you come back into the parking lot, start slowing down once you get into the parking lot so you can dismount. It's one of the main places for accidents. Everybody's slamming on their brakes, trying to get that last bit of speed. If you fall down and you're picking your bike back up, you're going at a speed you're probably not going to get hurt, but you're going to lose more seconds than you've gained by trying to get that little bit of extra speed. So just slow down, get off your bike, bring it back into the transition area. Okay. Once you've racked your bike, you're going to go out this way, take a left on the path, go back towards the back of the park. Because of the softball tournaments, we might have to make a few alterations to the run course. We're still working out the details, but it's going to be basically the same course. Out and back. Once you come back, the finish line will be right here, just past the path that you come into the transition area on. That's the finish line. Okay? Because it's a staggered start and we don't know who wins till after it's over, and we're trying to keep the congregations down, what we're going to do is once you come through, we're giving everybody an award. It's a towel, it's got the race logo on it. Everybody's going to get an award. Okay? The official awards will be posted online later that day, so we're not going to do the award ceremony. That's how we've decided to handle that. For the overall places, first, second, and third, male and female, those awards will be mailed to those people. So that's going to keep everybody from big groups at an award ceremony or congregating around trying to figure out who won. Okay? So once you cross the finish line and you get recovered a little bit, get a mask, get it back on. We'll have some extra mask out here if you've left it on, if you've left it up at the pool or something and need a fresh one. We'll have some extra mask. But once you finish the race, get recovered, get your mask back on. There's really no sense of hanging around. That's my favorite part of the race, is getting to talk to everybody and everything. But because of COVID, we're just not going to be able to do that. So I think I've covered just about all the bases I can think of. Probably not. But if you have any questions, you can ask them at packet pickup on Sunday morning. Other than that, look forward to seeing you guys. The weather's going to be great, going to be cool, coming out wet after the swim, but 50 degrees, you couldn't ask for a better race weather. We'll see you Sunday morning.